From the sands of North Africa to the mountains of the Eastern Front, Italian grenades earned a fearsome reputation that belied their deceptively simple appearance. In this video, we'll examine every Italian grenade used during World War II. First up, the standard offensive grenades, SRCM Mod 35. This was arguably the most reliable of Italy's wartime grenades. Manufactured by Società Romana Costruzioni Meccaniche, Yodi featured a compact aluminum body painted vivid red and packed with 43 grams of TNT. The British dubbed it the Red Devil, and for good reason. The SRCM used an impact fuse with an ingenious shutter mechanism that only armed when thrown with sufficient force, preventing accidental detonations. After Italy's armistice in 1943, the Germans adopted it as the hand granate 328U and kept it in production. Remarkably, this grenade served the Italian army until the late 1980s. OTO Model 35. The simplest of the three Model 35 designs, the OTO was manufactured by Odero Terni Orlando. Weighing just 150 grams with 36 grams of TNT, it featured a clever lead ball mechanism that would strike the primer on impact. Inside was an interesting safety feature. The lead ball was actually wrapped around smaller lead shot designed to fragment upon detonation, preventing heavy pieces from flying back toward the thrower. The Germans designated this one Hand Granate 327E, Breda Mod 35. Now, this one was the heaviest of the trio. Manufactured by Breda Meccanica Bresciana, it carried 63 grams of TNT and dinitronaphthalene, giving it slightly more punch. The Breda used a similar impact fuse, but featured a distinctive two-part safety system with headphones and crossbar mechanism. Its effective fragmentation radius reached about 10 meters. The Germans knew it as Hand Granate 329I, though it was generally considered less reliable than its SRCM cousin, SRCM Model 38. This was an improved version of the Model 35 introduced in 1938. The refinements focused on the internal mechanism, making it somewhat more consistent in operation. Same basic design, same Red Devil reputation, just a bit more polished. Next, let's look at stick grenades. Breda Mod 40. Here's Italy's answer to the German potato masher. The Breda 40 took a standard Model 35 grenade head and mounted it atop a wooden or bakelite handle, German style. The total length stretched to about 241 millimeters. The handle replaced the original headphone safety with a bucket mechanism that would release during the throw. The body was upgraded from aluminum to steel for better fragmentation, a practical adaptation that gave troops more throwing leverage. Moving on to anti-tank grenades. Type L grenade. This was Italy's dedicated anti-tank solution, essentially an OTO mod. 35 mounted inside a red-painted cylindrical container packed with 1,500 grams of explosive and fitted with a wooden throwing handle. The idea wasn't to destroy tanks outright, mind you, but to blow off a track and immobilize the vehicle. Once stopped, infantry could move in with incendiary grenades to finish the job. Heavy and awkward, but effective when it landed true. Breda Model 42. Talk about desperate measures. Italy entered the war without a proper anti-tank grenade, and by 1942 the need was critical. The Breda 42 took them out. 40-stick grenade and attached an aluminum sphere containing 574 grams of TNT to the bottom. According to Breda, it could pierce 20-millimeter armor and cause spalling on 30-millimeter plates. Troops had to throw it at least 14 to 15 meters to allow the safety to disengage. Unfortunately, when tested in April 1943, it suffered numerous failures to detonate. Oh boy, not what you want when facing tanks. OTO Mod 42. This was the incendiary companion to the Breda 42. Engineers essentially standardized what soldiers had been improvising in the field, mounting an OTO mod. 35 as a detonator onto a glass container filled with 600 grams of flamethrower liquid and gasoline. The grenade had to hit the target precisely, ideally on the engine air vents, where the liquid could penetrate before ignition. A professional Molotov cocktail, you could say. Passalia grenade. Now this was pure Italian ingenuity born of desperation. Named after the soldiers who pioneered it, the Passalia was a field improvised device consisting of a block of explosive, usually 1 to 2 kilograms, with an OTO Mod 35 inserted as a detonator, the whole assembly wrapped in canvas with a carrying hook. Bersaglieri troops became famous for these, charging tanks with nothing but courage and homemade bombs. Rommel himself reportedly wrote that while German soldiers impressed the world, Italian Bersaglieri impressed the German soldiers. Now, for specialized variants, SR-CM Mod 35 smoke grenade, Granata Fumogena. Painted yellow instead of red, this variant replaced the TNT with white phosphorus. Large holes in the body allowed the smoke to pour out upon detonation. It served dual purpose as both a screening device and an incendiary, though the white phosphorus made it nasty stuff indeed. OTO, SRCM, and Breda practice variants. All 3 Model 35 types came in training versions, painted black or white with a red stripe. These allowed troops to practice throwing and the arming sequence without the explosive payload, essential for teaching soldiers to use these somewhat complicated impact-fused designs. Smoke incendiary variants, FI. These operational smoke grenades featured a red upper half and black lower half marked with F or F1. Unlike the yellow smoke grenades, these had no holes and were designed for combat screening with incendiary effect. Finally, legacy grenades still in limited service, SIPE grenade. This defensive grenade dated back to the Great War but saw some limited early war use. Manufactured by Società Italiana Prodotti Esplodenti, IT, featured a cast iron fragmentation body with predetermined fracture grooves. The fuse operated like striking a match. You scraped it to ignite a time delay. By World War II, it was thoroughly obsolete, relegated to rear area duties and training, but some examples lingered in Italian armories.